Hello and welcome to the Council of the First Ones podcast. In this video we're discussing the latest about Mattel's Masters of the Universe Origins figures, and we're also discussing the Funko Pop figures. Enjoy!
You know, I worry that the same people distributing the vaccine are the same people distributing the Origins figures.
Okay, you think Walmart is handling this?
Digital River.
Hey,
where's your vaccine? It's somewhere in Missouri right now.
Hey, I'll just no. I'll just say that, before last year we could blame it all on Walmart. This year we've got Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, Target. We've got a number of retailers ready to provide us these figures, and they're trickling out. I just I just hope it all works out in a timely manner.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Mattel probably hired Digital River to send out to the mass retailers all the Origin figures.
Well, the few times I've been out and about, because I don't get out like I would like to for multiple reasons, but I just see Skeletor anywhere. That's it. Like, Skeletor is just there on the pegs, and then occasionally I'll see Battle Cat. Right. That's it. So
I've been seeing a lot of Skeletor and He-Man. I know Mattel is trying to correct their faux pas of the past where Skeletor and He-Man, the basic figures, are never out there like they were in the 80s after the first wave. You didn't find them, or you found them very rarely. 2000X, you didn't find them after the original wave. They kept refreshing them with different variants. This time they said they'll be evergreen. Now you find them all over, and I'm worried that it's going to become a clearance item because they're just sitting on those pegs now.
That's the logical conclusion, yeah.
I mean, maybe Mattel needs to do it where, yes, we're going to have it as an evergreen, but we're putting it out maybe every other wave.
I mean, as far as evergreen figures, I've seen some indication of this. I hope it's true that, originally we had the first wave including He-Man, and He-Man had the first wave comic book. But a couple people have posted and said that they've seen He-Man figures with the next wave's comic book. And that's exactly what I want to see, because that gives collectors, mock collectors, another reason to buy He-Man and Skeletor again, those evergreen figures, because then they can have more variety when they display all their Origins figures. They don't have to have the same comic displayed behind every single figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't think about checking it because I was at Target today, because I was lucky enough to find the Land Shark.
You wait, what?
I found the Land Shark Hot Wheels.
The Hot Wheels. You got me all excited there, boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, boy, we're gonna have to hose him down. Don't do that to him.
Breaking news. Sorry, everybody.
He was like, I'll be on the plane to New Jersey tomorrow. Just boom.
Yeah, I've got to break the news to Facebook.
I would be overnighting it to him.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, so, speaking of Origins distribution, so where are we at right now? Grayskull is showing up in Canada.
Yes.
I've seen
I think it was supposed to come out in August.
Yeah, it's a wonderful surprise. It would be more wonderful if it was down here. Let's hope that, that the U.S. can enjoy the same luck as Canada. And I've seen just 2 or 3 review videos so far.
Mm-hmm.
And, it does fit in with the aesthetic of the toy line. When you put them all together, I get it. I mean, they do really, they've got this extra bright look, and they look slightly more childish than our vintage toys do. And but they all go together. You can tell by how they sculpted the front of the castle, and from the thick cartoony wood boards in the floors, and the wood on the door of the castle. I mean, it just has this, like the age limit was, as if the age limit was reduced a bit. But I don't know. I was really looking forward to customizing a vintage castle using parts from the Origins castle. I hope I can still do that, although it looks like I don't know how compatible the floor pieces will be. So I'm a bit nervous about that. I don't know if I have to, put a lot more effort into it. But anyway, overall, yeah, I'm just excited right now that they have a castle, and it's coming to us much sooner than expected. Everybody on Facebook is ecstatic. I love it.
Yeah, I'd say if there was a castle, I think you and I talked about this privately, David, that if there's a castle that you want to customize, this might be the better castle, because then you're not, it's like vintage in that way. It's like you almost don't want to deface that, because that's history,
Right.
Even if you got like, oh, it's just the exterior of it, there's a part of it, it's still like, but that's still my childhood. This is probably more like, hey, you want to customize something? Have at it. You're only spending, $75 for this. Plus, you're getting a figure, and you can go nuts with this, and you're not going to probably feel like you're, breaking the bank or ruining something from your childhood in order to have a little bit of artistic creativity with something like that. Watching the review videos when they were released, it's like it basically painted the picture of, I was like, yep, this is how I figured I would feel watching this. And it was mostly, it wasn't still, like, out of all the castles, I still think I like 2000X even a little better than this one, because 2000X at least had a different feel to it. Yeah, that's me. That's me. But I just, I like the wood, the drawbridge door, and stuff like that. I like certain aspects of it, but there's definitely some, it feels like it's too cramped when I look at it still. I'm not...
See, I was worried that it would be as skinny as the 2000X castle.
Yeah.
It does not look like that's the case. And I remember thinking, like, well, it looks like there isn't enough floor space on this one. And one of the reasons why, but I'm looking at it now, I'm a picture, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I don't know. I'm going to have to look again at that floor space, because I thought, well, the elevator on the new one is sticking out over, the floor space. But one thing that was pointed out in the videos is the new elevator is actually a bit smaller than the vintage one.
Oh.
Just like they shrunk the weapon rack. So, I can't wait to get one in hand so I can properly scrutinize it in a review video and pull it apart and try to use the custom parts and whatnot, But yeah, I really hope that we can get something going online. Thankfully, Big Bad Toy Store, they released they shipped the wave of figures with She-Ra, Roboto, Zodak, and Merman. People are getting those, which is wonderful. That it was really surprising at the beginning of the year when Big Bad Toy Store listed so many figures, like the entire year's worth. It felt like figures, they were all on there. So it's great to see that. Yeah, we're starting to see something listed actually get shipped. Amazon's doing something kind of odd. I noticed that with Amazon, and this happens around, I want to say midnight maybe, they will take one of the new Origins figures, and this includes the deluxe Ram Man figure, the Stratos figure, and the deluxe Clamp Champ figure so far. They'll make it available to order, but at the same time, it'll say temporarily out of stock. It'll still say that it's out of stock, but it'll let you order it.
Like a pre-order, like whenever it gets back into stock, you're at least able to get it then.
Unless they cancel the order, yeah.
Unless they cancel the order, yeah.
Like right now, Stratos is still available to order right now for $14.99, but it's out of stock.
Interesting.
And maybe they don't have any of their third-party sellers with it in stock. Otherwise, it would have been $40.
Well, otherwise, yeah, the listing would automatically direct you to a third-party listing. Yeah. Like so many other listings on there. So I don't know. We'll see. I feel like, okay, it's like, okay, I can put in my pre-order with Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, and Entertainment Earth, and then it's a race. Who's going to ship first? And then when they ship, then you've got to rush and cancel your other pre-orders before you're stuck buying them.
Yeah, no kidding. And just, I want to say it was this past week. I wanted to do a quick shout out. I think the newest wave, the one that you were saying Roboto's in and everything. Roast Google alumni, Roast Google podcast alumni Nate Barch is actually doing the interior art on that wave's book, if I remember right.
Right. Yes,
he showcased that on his Facebook page, and the one thing that I really loved is his style is very Alcala-esque for me, loving that era of the brand especially. So when I saw that, I felt like I came home, and this was the first time the mini comics since Origins has started where I'm like, this is the right direction. Let him do the rest of them. This is amazing.
It feels very vintage.
It does, and I know for him, he actually said it was a childhood dream come true that he actually was able to do a mini comic now. So I not only wanted to say congratulations, but Mattel, that's what we're thinking. This is how it should be working. Please, this is a great direction. You hired him once, bring him back for more. That would be amazing because he really does have a very, very nice visual idea of how Masters works well in everything I've seen him do. So I love it. I'm going to hunt down at least one of those figures just so I can get that mini comic and go, there you go. And I'm going to be, it's like, you're kind of proud of him because he's in the community and he's been a long-term member of the community. There's that, he did good, it's that kid done good from, your own neighborhood, that kind of feeling.
It's so wonderful to see the fan participation. I wish so much that, of course, Joe Amaro and the Four Horsemen, had a more active role in this line. Since Joe Amaro, he was the one who sculpted the classics Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain and the vehicles and of course the Horsemen were a part of that. Now I don't know. It's a big question mark in my head of just how much involvement does the Four Horsemen Studios have in this line. Like I've heard various things. I don't want to risk spreading rumors or anything, but I don't know what's going on with that, but I would hope that in future Mattel projects that Mattel would include them like in the Masterverse line.
Oh, I agree completely, and that's kind of why there's glimmers of hope for me with Nate being involved for the art, Axel being involved in the box art and all the card art that's going on. That's like, these are guys who get it, and that makes me happy. But then it's like when you say the heart and soul of Masters for me for the past 20 plus years, which is the Horsemen. And it's like, okay, they're MIA, but we at least have a couple of things going where it feels like, okay, these people still get it. We have that. Right. But yeah, I agree. I don't want to put anything out there that's, not correct, but I'm not happy hearing nothing from the Horsemen about it. You know, there's silence, radio silence, and I'm hearing them working with Super 7 on, you know, obviously Thundercats Ultimates, Ninja Turtles Ultimates and stuff. But then it's like, and Mythic Legions, a Cosmic Legion one that they're also going to be bringing out. I know that's a big deal. They're going to have a video game even for Mythic Legions now. But it's like, that just, it's like one of the biggest names that I'm used to equating them to is not there. It's like, you're killing me here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, something else in the news is today for the first time we saw photos of the Flocked Panther figure.
Oh, the Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, and which looks pretty interesting. You know, I think the only gripe that I've heard so far is that in the joint it's not flocked, which makes sense, but it's pretty noticeable that, you know,
rubbed off with that.
Yeah.
Can you show what the spine looks like being flocked? I haven't been online today.
I haven't seen any photos. Just I mean, I think we saw one photo initially, but anyway, and it's supposed to be flocked and all that. But the only photos I saw today that were revealed were the figure itself. And it's interesting because the person who revealed them, he said that it was odd that the only link he could find on the website, you know, it just leads him to, on Walmart's website, leads him to the standard unflocked figure. So honestly, I don't know where he got them. I assume that it was data mined from Walmart's website. That's the only idea I've got about that.
Honestly, I'm looking at it right now, and it looks pretty good considering. And yeah, I mean the places where the flocking isn't, it's like there's no way you can do it. I understand why they would do that. I get why people would be like, but it's not complete. It's like, yeah, you want that rubbed off within a week if you're going to position it or whatever. I mean,
yes.
I think for my personal thing, I kind of was wishing once they did Battle Cat, and basically the biggest complaint I heard about him was the lack of the ankle or the foot articulation, because basically the feet just went up and down wherever the arm or wherever the legs went. And they still did the same thing with Panther. So I guess just across the board, that's how they're doing the cats. And I'm like, I was kind of hoping, but okay, you know, that's the style of Origins then. So
yeah, I mean, it fits right in. You know, very very colorful photos. It fits right in with the rest of the line, and I'm just happy that we were given the option to buy a flocked Panther, even if it cost more. And even if it's a Walmart exclusive, but you know, I'll pick it up again. I'm fine with it.
It does, like I said, it does look good, and
yeah,
you know, it does make him his own. I've heard that a lot lately, but it does. It makes Panther his own character. That's a distinction that he had that Battle Cat didn't. So.
I just I'll have to paint in the rest of his teeth like I did with the Battle Cat figure. It just annoys me that just the 4 teeth are painted and that's it.
And the flocking doesn't look that heavy because you're able to still see the sculpt.
Yeah,
right.
It's a nice thing.
Yeah, you still see all that beautiful sculpt. I was admiring it actually, the sculpt this morning, and noticing that, you know, really they put a lot of detail in it. Even if it looks more like a smaller child's toy, there's still a lot of detail in there.
Honestly, my son has a Battle Cat, and he was going crazy with him downstairs like a week ago. And the other day I was downstairs, I saw Battle Cat sitting next to the Classics Grayskull. And literally for like 2 seconds, I looked at that. I'm like, did he take down my Classics Battle Cat? I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, dear God, that's his. Thank you. Because I was so worried because I know the prices on those. But it did shock me that, you know, like there's enough of a newness to that piece to make me think, oh, crap, it's the expensive version that I have on this shelf. So it's like it's like, you know, the best of both worlds, except that if those ankles were working, I think that would be the best thing they could have done, because otherwise it's actually a pretty solid piece for the line.
Yeah, definitely.
But and that's just a posability aspect, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I actually, the cats, I really do think they did pretty well with those in this.
Oh yeah. You know, it's interesting you talk about how, you know, in the classics line, Panther is the expensive one. Is, you know, Panther is, you know, very, very pricey. And I think of Scareglow in the Origins line as being the, you know, the sought after figure. And, you know, personally, I always thought that Ninjor would be the next super hot item for Origins. But when I saw, you know, when I shared around pictures of the figure, I saw quite a few negative responses, saying like, oh yeah, it's not even that, you know, it's just Ninjor. And I thought, wait a minute, it's a ninja. Ninjas by themselves, just the fact that it's a ninja is super cool. I mean, I bought a small number of the Ninjor figures to make a little ninja clan out of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a cool idea. No, but, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I just, you know, so yeah, it's interesting what, you know, one person's Scareglows, another person's Ninjor, I guess. I don't know.
It all depends. Like, what I hate myself. When I was a kid, my mom was holding a Scareglow at a KB toy store and asking me if it meant that he was the legit ghost of Skeletor, like Skeletor dies and this is Skeletor coming back. And I've replayed that moment so many times since I gotten into classics, knowing that figure is one of the grail pieces for some people because of how expensive it is and how rare it is, depending on the situation. And same with Ninjor. And some of his pieces, especially his nunchucks, are like, you know, you could pay $50 for that, or even more than that on eBay if you want a complete figure. So, you know, it's like I admire Origins because of the fact they're letting us get some of these figures that we missed out on if we weren't there in the beginning, or if we went away from the brand. Because at the time when Scareglow was on the shelf when I was a kid, I was trying to buy up Transformers from Transformers the movie, because that hit only the year before that. And so I was all about Transformers the movie, because that movie blew my mind. And my mom's there trying to talk about Scareglow, and I'm like, I'm looking for Cyclonus. I'm not worried about Scareglow. I don't know who that is. You know, I'm not worried about this. And now I look back, I'm like, oh, Shawn, if you would have only known.
Right.
But you know, Origins, at least you have Scareglow now. Ninjor's coming and stuff. I would say out of the two that you're talking about, Scareglow and Ninjor, I think Scareglow is the one that one grabbed me enough to go, I need that in Origins. And I have him on my shelf and everything. But Ninjor, I feel like the translation of him, he doesn't translate quite as awesomely compared to Scareglow in that size. He translated amazing in classics because there was an amount of detail they brought to that really punched him up.
That they did an amazing job with him in classics. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, and now they're having to take they don't want to do the cloth, you know, armor or whatever, you know. But so, you know, the hood and the armor and whatnot, and so they're stuck having to sculpt it. And yeah, I totally get it that his head looks a bit like cartoony. But I don't know, doesn't look quite as bad now that we've seen some official like new photos. But
I like that idea of yours, though. I do like that it should be an Eternian ninja clan, or it could be like Sub-Zero, where he can create clones of himself using his mysticism, and he has clones all over. It's like wherever a shadow is, he could pop out of it, but he'd still be the main guy that you're fighting. But there'd be another one coming out of a shadow to hit you in the back or kick you or whatever, and that'd be a really cool version of Ninjor.
That's exactly why at one time I painted a classic Skeletor figure completely gray, so that I could have, like, you know, that's one of Skeletor's spells, like you described, is this shadow that, is it a kind of a clone or a shadow clone of Skeletor that He-Man has to fight.
Nice.
Yeah. And similar to the Shredder's ability in the Ninja Turtle video game, where you had to fight more than one Shredder.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. Exactly. And it's like, I know in Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero does ice clones of himself so that you're hitting the clone, but then he'll show up another place and he'll get you from behind or whatever. And it's like, either way, I always get a kick out of that. The whole, the heroes in the room with mirrors, and all of a sudden something will come out of a mirror, and it's like, it's not the real thing, but you're still having to fight this danger while you're trying to get to the bigger bad or whatever.
The hallmark of a good villain. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Kelly?
Nope. I was never a big fan of Ninjor until you gave me that idea with the cloning and coming out of the shadows. I'm like, wait, they should have incorporated that. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Well, and maybe for a few of these characters, they could have, they could give us a pack of battle damage faker, let's say they give us a pack with Teela, Man-at-Arms, He-Man, and all of them were robots underneath, kind of like Westworld. And so we would have, that would be like Faker, like Faker.
The Faker army.
Like Faker like Skeletor can make a Faker clone of any character. So, you never know when one of the masters has been replaced by a robot.
Nice. Why are we writing this stuff?
Yeah.
we got like two or three episodes already just based on this concept. We could have fun with it.
Well, in Ninjor, Trapjaw's got his metal arm. Well, Ninjor, his metal arm could have all kinds of ninja weapons.
Yeah.
Instead of just a ray gun. Yeah. So anyway, there's it's so much fun thinking about all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
One thing while we're on the topic of origins, might as well mention that Masters of the WWE Universe, the original Grayskull Mania wrestling ring set that included John Cena and Triple H, that set is selling for $25 right now at Big Lots, and you can order online, order it for pickup. So yeah, go on Big Lots, the website, and check it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised figuring that's a Walmart exclusive. I guess there was so much left over that Walmart forgot to put on the shelves 2 years ago when it was their holiday box set, and they were just unloading it.
Yeah, they must have just pressed the purge button like they did with classics that one time. And
when the distribution department didn't check with a certain guru and just shipped out a bunch of giggles.
I wonder if we're going to see other WWE figures or maybe even some Origins figures pop up suddenly at Big Lots sometime. Like all those Skeletors.
Well, yeah, the Skeletors I could see because I think everybody right now, and it's funny to me, out of any character, it isn't even He-Man, it's Skeletor. Skeletor's everywhere, at least locally for me. But yeah, I can't. It's funny. I haven't actually seen a WWE figure in months.
Right.
I have not found any of those on the pegs anywhere when I get out. It's just Skeletor, and it's Target, it's Walmart, just Skeletor, and occasionally Battle Cat. I don't even see the Jet Sled really. I've seen that a few times here and there, but predominantly that's the ones that you're seeing, and it's like it's not helping. When I see that, it's like, what do you make of this?
My only thought is that, okay, picture the distribution is Mattel's got this, they turn on the faucet and it's a trickle. And they said, okay, well, don't worry. We're going to distribute it to all the retailers next year. We're going to distribute it worldwide. Great. Excellent. Okay, it's next year. It's time to see this big reveal. Okay, great. Now the trickle didn't get any better. You didn't. It's still a trickle, but they took the trickle and said, okay, we're going to take this trickle and we're going to take it and we're going to distribute it here and here to Amazon, to Big Bad Toy Store, to all these retailers, and we're just going to spread this little trickle everywhere we can. And that's the result. Is what is my impression. Is okay. So you've got stuff showing up in Canada, great. Parts of Canada, some other parts of Canada are saying, wait, we didn't get anything. Just like the U.S. said, oh, well, this state didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And this state eventually got some figures, and, it's just it's a mess.
Well,
still.
Locally, it took until, I want to say, probably October, November, until I actually saw anything on the pigs at Walmart.
Well,
and we're talking like, I've seen He-Man and Skeletor at Walmart, but then it was like, okay, where anybody else? And then all of a sudden, oh, here's Teela, here's Man-at-Arms, here's Evelyn, here's Beastman. And it was literally one time. And then after that, it's always just been either He-Man or Skeletor, and now it's just Skeletor everywhere.
Well, keep in mind, there are a ton of scalpers. And, and so most of the time you're not seeing them at the store because of the scalpers, because they're pallet watching, because they're in early in the morning, they're grabbing them. And then when you show up with your family grocery shopping in the afternoon, there's no way you're going to see them.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
I'm dreading next Friday when the Funko Skeletor in his throne hits the target, because I'm going to cut school and try and beat the scalper to get it.
Right. You don't mean physically, right?
I was just going to say, I don't know if you want to announce that on a podcast.
Yeah. Disclaimer, this podcast does not condone physical violence.
I'm still doing remote, so I'll have my phone. I can do my class without skipping that.
Yeah. That's why I'm not gonna. I'm tempted. I've bought a couple, Funko Pops, and then I ended up just reselling them because, just to get them away from me. Like I can't get into those because of I don't want to. I do that. There's such a higher level of the hunt of trying to track those figures down is just too hard. Not interested. As fun as they look.
I cherry pick, but I've always wanted a Skeletor on the throne, especially with the Filmation style.
Well, yeah, it's a great looking figure.
I mean, that looks really good. I'm not happy with Mantenna that's supposed to be coming out. That's supposed to be a Walmart exclusive. Something about the Mantenna Funko I wasn't too keen on. And then on their website only will be Man-at-Arms, and can't remember the other Funko Soda Pop figure that they were doing. Let me see if
I will have to check the Funko Masters of the Universe fans group. Let's see. There's Scareglows they've done, and they're doing a Mantenna Funko Pop.
Right, that one's going to Walmart since there's no ECCC.
So there, for the soda cans, there's two versions of Cobra Khan, one with the hood open, one with the hood closed, and the other soda pop is Man-at-Arms, and the chase is Snake Man-at-Arms.
Yep.
And while they're doing that, they're also releasing 2 Motu Pez dispensers, one for Cobra Khan, which is hilarious, and one Spikor.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any of the Funko Pez dispensers. The soda pops are all right. I mean, they do come in the metal can, and they are a blind bag because there is always a chase figure.
Mm-hmm.
But the Skeletor, I know the pre-orders sold out very quickly.
Right, very
That's
quickly.
part of the what they call Target Con, Target's version of their Comic Con, to bring people to their collector's section.
Everybody has a con nowadays. That's kind of mind blowing to me right now that there's Target Con now.
Well, that's been around for a few years. I mean, they even put out T-shirts, everything.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
I've never heard of it. I mean, I guess that shows how much I know about Target, but I never knew of that until just now. I've been schooled. That's good.
The
Learn
only
something new.
place that has not figured out to do their own con is Walmart.
I was just gonna say, if they have their own con, I obviously have been under a rock for the last 5 years because I did not.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Amazon probably would be the only other one I could think of if they had their own con or whatever.
Amicon.
Amicon. Yeah, then it sounds like that sounds like something Optimus Prime needs to hunt down and destroy because just Amicon Prime.
Exactly.
Jeff Bezos grows into Lex Luthor before our eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he does sort of look like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, as a bald man, it makes me feel a little weird to know that he's out there for that reason. Yeah. It's like, yeah, every bald man has billions of dollars and we want to roll the world. Of course.
Yeah.
So,